Good morning, mon petit, and welcome back to another day of Everyday May. I am very sorry if you can hear that dripping in the background of this video. I've just filled up the Brita filter, and I never know how much the camera like picks up on noise, but for me, can you hear that? It's just like a continuous dripping sound. In case you're ever wondering, our Brita filter, what this is, it's like this big jug that we always keep on like the side of our the kitchen countertops, the side of the sink. I've just filled it up and it's like dripping through, as you can see now. But basically, if you live anywhere in the UK that's not Scotland, you will be cursed with hard water. I remember when we used to live just outside of London, and oh my gosh, the water there was horrendous. It's not actually that much better. Considering we're in the countryside, you might think like, oh, being in the New Forest or being in the Cotswolds, like it's better. Trust me, it is not. Hard water basically means it's like the lime scale that they put in. So we use the Brita filter not only because it tastes a lot nicer when you're drinking water out of the Brita filter and like not having that like metallic taste. If you ever had that when you've had a sip of water and it's like tasted really, really metallic, that's basically the lime scale that's in the water. That's like the hard water that you're tasting. So number one, it's for the taste, but number two, it's also for the machines, like the coffee machines, the kettles. Is there anything else that we'd use with the water? Even like the rice cooker, to be honest, like the lime scale will build up so much in it, and I have ruined many a kettle in the past from not using it. So we'll always fill anything up in the kitchen, any kind of like appliances or like machines will fill up from the Brita filter. But what a tangent for this morning. Sometimes I don't even like plan what I'm gonna say. This is why I just love you guys. I love that you agree with me that it just feels like we're sitting on FaceTime, because I don't ever have like an agenda of what I'm like, oh, I'm gonna chat about that, oh, I'm gonna tell them about this. Like I just pick up the camera and chat, and I'm exactly that friend on FaceTime where we could be having a conversation and within the space of 5 minutes it will go from Brita filters to what's your deepest darkest fear to where's your dream holiday to go on. Like honestly, that is just where my brain takes me essentially. But as you can see, it's quite early in the morning. I have my morning cup of tea and I'm looking rather au naturel this morning. I've not really got much makeup on, although I did fake tan, so I do feel like my skin is looking very glowy with the fake tan. As you can see, my hair is not even styled properly. This is actually what my hair looks like if I don't style it. It just kind of goes like a little bit flicky. I always say it reminds me of the Balamori lady, like especially on this side where it just kind of flicks out. But it's one of those days where it's just a very minimal effort, very casual kind of a day. Don't really have any plans to go anywhere. And actually the weather is not weathering today. It's not really feeling like a May day today, which is such a shame. It's actually quite chilly, which is why I've got a long sleeve thermal on. These Uniqlo thermals are honestly my favorite thing in the world. And it's quite grey and overcast. But I actually have plans to head out this morning. I'm just going for a lovely morning walk with my sister G. She texted me last night being like, I need a walk tomorrow. Are you free for a walk? I was like, let's do it. So we're heading out first thing. I love going like a bit earlier in the morning before kind of like people are starting work, and it just feels like the world is waking up. It's just like my favorite thing in the world. So I'm just gonna finish my cup of tea and then we're gonna head out for a lovely morning walk. A little bit of a catch up because I've not seen her in a few days, and just, it's my favorite phrase to use, but put the world to rights. I always love just going for a lovely walk and putting the world to rights. So I shall finish my morning tea and then we'll head on off. Before I go though, I am actually going to have a super quick breakfast, and this is something that I literally have every single morning. I don't think I've ever really told you about this. It kind of looks like a bit of nothing in the bowl, but trust me, if you're a sweet tooth, this is just the best breakfast to have. I was really struggling for a long time to have like a nice breakfast that wasn't too overly filling. It wasn't like too sweet, if that makes sense. Like obviously I can't live off croissants and pastries and things like that every morning. And also this is a really easy one to have like if you're on holiday, if you're at like an all-inclusive, or you know, if you like go away and you have like the hotel breakfast the next morning, because they pretty much always will have this at the hotel. So I literally just have Greek yogurt and jam, and it is so simple to do. I just do 2 tablespoons, I always get them confused, 2 tablespoons of yogurt and then 1 teaspoon of jam, and then you literally just kind of mix it all up together and it ends up looking like this, and it tastes delicious. It's so good for you obviously because the Greek yogurt is really good with regards to like the live bacteria that's in there. It's really filling. Like I don't find that I need like a snack until lunchtime, and it literally takes 5 minutes to do. So if you're in a rush in the morning, this is such a good breakfast. Also super affordable as well, because Greek yogurt and jam is like so easy to get your hands on, and it tastes absolutely amazing. You could also do honey as well. I do love doing honey sometimes for like a real special occasion, but on kind of a day-to-day basis I just go for a little strawberry jam. But you could do raspberry, you could do any kind of flavour that you wanted to, but super quick breakfast before we go. It takes 2 seconds to make and also takes 2 seconds to eat, which is why I absolutely love it. Back home from our walk now, and I did not even bring my camera out with me. I just wanted to literally switch off for an hour, head on out with my sister, as I say, put the world to rights and just head on through a walk in the New Forest, because there's nothing better than like a walk through nature. It's my favorite thing about being here in the New Forest, is there's so many gorgeous walks around us, and you can do like different lengths, different timescales, whether it's a half an hour walk, a 45-minute walk, an hour-long walk. We just did under an hour and it was so lovely. As I said, it put the world to rights and made the most of it, despite the fact that the weather is not weathering today, although it does make me so grateful for my little Uniqlo body warmer. It's the cutest little thing ever, and I've been wanting a body warmer for such a long time, and I just could never find the right one, because I found a lot of them were very masculine, to tell you the complete and honest truth. I feel like body warmers for women are a little bit fewer and further between and a little bit harder to find. So I found this one on Uniqlo and bought it in the camel. And actually, do you know what's really funny? My sister G does have a matching one in the navy blue, but I kind of love the like lighter tones of this one. Every time I wear it, I get so many compliments. It's just a really easy one to chuck on with the weather like it is today, when it's not quite cold enough for a coat, but it's not quite warm enough for nothing on. It's also got like pockets and stuff so you can keep everything. And it also has, I'm pretty sure inside of it, like a little bag that you can kind of roll the coat up into. So if ever you're traveling, it's a super handy one. But back home now, and I'm not gonna lie to you, today it's just a really chill, casual day. I might not even style my hair today. I just kind of can't really be bothered. I've obviously been styling my hair so much because of everyday May. I feel like whenever I come on camera, I'm like, oh, I need to put my makeup on, need to do my hair. And actually, I don't. Let's be honest, because it's just me having a little chat, and you know what I look like. So it's just gonna be one of those days, but I'm not gonna lie, I've got a little bit of an itch today. Let me take my jacket off actually whilst we are chatting, so it's a little bit weird to be wearing my jacket indoors, but I've got a little bit of an itch today. I really want to basically get out the rest of my summer pieces, which I know is ironic considering that the weather is not the best. Like, it's really miserly today, it's really grey and just a bit overcast, but it's still kind of muggy. That's a word that I feel like we use in the UK that like nobody else uses, and I don't know if you guys understand what I mean when I say it's muggy. Basically, it's like, you know when that weather's like close, it's like a little bit, you just feel like the air is quite close on you and you get a little bit sweaty, and it's not necessarily warm, but you're like, your body temperature is quite hot, if that makes sense. But I kind of just want to make sure that my wardrobes are prepped and organised and ready for when summer finally hits, because we've already done the autumn to spring wardrobe switchover, but I'm very seasonal with my wardrobe, as you guys know, and I very much have like really seasonal pieces that I like to bring out at different seasons, different times of year. And I really find that like the most important thing to me is making sure that I'm wearing something that really like encapsulates the season, like makes me excited to get dressed. And I really do feel like I've been changing a lot with regards to my style lately, and like what I'm reaching for, what I'm kind of bringing out, and seasonality in my wardrobe is so important. So I kind of want to get out the rest of like my summer pieces, the things that haven't actually got out of storage yet, give them a steam, give them a little bit of a freshen up, and kind of like distribute them throughout the wardrobe. And also, as always, it's a perfect opportunity to do a little bit of a wardrobe clear out, or just kind of take stock of what you've got, have a look at the pieces that have been exciting you, have a look at the pieces that you've been wearing, and just do a little bit of an organise. So I think that's my plan of action for this morning. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm so warm now because I've just been using the steamer to basically get all the creases out, clean all the pieces and get them all nice and fresh looking. If you're wondering what steamer I use, it is the Tefal. In fact, I should probably turn it off now that we have finished using it, but it is the Tefal Steam Power Steamer, and it's a really, really handy one. It's quite a big one. I wouldn't say it's the best in terms of like travel, but it's a really good one for when it comes to steaming because it has different settings. You can kind of like press up or down with regards to your pieces. So like silk pieces I'll always turn down. You don't want to use too much heat on them, whereas like linen pieces I'll always turn up because I feel like they just take so much longer to get the creases out. But I would always say to use a steamer whenever you bring things out of storage. Number one, because obviously you want to get all the creases out. I do find that it helps a lot with the smell. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but my clothes when they've been in storage always smell just a little bit like stale, I think is the best way to describe it. So helps to get rid of the stale smell, and also is really good with regards to cleaning them. So I actually worked on this with Tefal about 5 years ago, and I remember the kind of like info that they'd given me, and it was something like 99.9% of bacteria and viruses are killed with a steamer. So it's great to use it on things like coats if you're like wearing them a lot throughout the winter, especially if you don't want to like dry clean pieces. And then also when you're bringing items out of storage, they've probably been in there for a long time, like you don't really know what's kind of sitting on them, especially like whenever I go into London. I always feel like things need steamed after that because I just want to get rid of all of like the pollution and things like that. But it's so nice to have some of my favorite spring summer pieces back out, like this gorgeous little Saint and Sophia dress, this Bowden dress which was hand embroidered for me by the lovely Jane, which honestly I'm just so obsessed with. I cannot wait for the weather to get warmer. I love a little halter neck in kind of spring summertime as well, especially when the weather's warmer. My House of CB dress, I get asked a lot of questions whether I still wear these, and this is my favorite one. I think this is the Juliet, I believe, and it's got the cutest little like ditzy floral print detail to it. So it's really lovely to have some of those pieces back out in storage and ready for when the weather hopefully picks up. If we have a heat wave in June, your girl is ready for it. So we're in the sage green room now, the room that I'm so excited to really get started with. It's so funny how when I started Everyday May and I was like, I'm going to show you so much in the house, that we're going to make so many changes, and actually it reminds me how long things take, especially whenever it comes to like homeware and styling and things like that. Like this room has not really changed that much since I showed it to you a couple of weeks ago. I feel like it's so much less clutter, which is amazing, but as you can see there's still a lot behind me. I have actually moved in this little puff which I absolutely adore. It's a really, really gorgeous like boucle poof, like, you know, the kind of like boucle material, like basically feels like a cloud is the way that I describe it, and that is the perfect name for it because it is actually called the Cloud Stool. It's from a brand called Stringer Brothers Upholsterers, and they do personalized upholstering. Like they do amazing like carpentry and upholstery and things like that. They are so talented, and they do these little kind of poofs. They do like a half size of this if you just want like a little square. They do this size, and they do like a double size. And if you have been around since we lived in the flat all the way, God, how many years ago would that have been? 4 or 5 years ago now? We lived there. We moved in there probably about 6 years ago, which is so mad to think about. But yes, if you've been following it since the flat, you'll probably recognize this because this always made a feature in all of like my home styling and all of like my home content, and I honestly just absolutely adored it. And it's kind of come through the ringer with us, like it's come to each house, and as much as I don't use it like in the living room anymore, it's not quite my style down there. Like I'm very much more about, obviously with this house, especially the country farmhouse style, I'm much more about like the textures and the colors and the patterns. I still do absolutely love it, and especially when I was doing like my mood boarding and thinking about my styling in here and like what I want to be creating, I was like, I feel like that could be a really nice way of just adding a little bit of texture. Like I would love to get a chair in here, but even just to have as like a little bit of a, like I can put my feet up, I can use it if I want to like place stuff on here. It's really handy. So I've brought this in here, but as you can see behind it, we still have quite a few bags that I've not unpacked. So now that that box is completely empty, we've got this storage box which I can fill, which did have my summer pieces in. I can basically sift through and kind of empty out the items that weren't fully unpacked when we moved. I think I've got quite a few like the depths of winter pieces, like really thick knitwear and jumpers and things like that, because when we moved it was very much like a transitional period, and I do remember I remember living out of a bag for literally like a week, which is absolutely mad when I think about it. I literally lived out of like one bag for about maybe 2 to 3 weeks actually, because obviously I did it before we moved as well. And it was so difficult because it was that transitional period, so it was kind of warm but it was kind of cold, and so I kept being like, I don't know what to wear, I don't know what to style, like I don't know what I'm doing with my wardrobe. So there's still quite a few pieces that like I didn't unpack when we moved in, so I can put those away in storage and then hopefully start sifting through and clearing through some of these bags that are in this very strange little alcove. It's an alcove that I'd definitely like to have a look at putting doors on. I wonder if that's something Alex could do. All we'd really need is hinges, plywood, and measure it correctly. Maybe I can ask him if that's something that he can do. Maybe it's a little birthday treat. Honestly, does anyone else do this when their birthday's coming up? Anything that they ask of their partner, anything that they want, they keep being like, oh, that can be like a birthday gift to me, that can be a little birthday present, despite the fact that you've asked for about 10 other things that you're like, that's also a birthday present. Yeah, I just really want to make sure that we're like maximizing the storage space in here and like utilizing everything, but also that it still feels like a really nice calm room. As I've said, I really want it to be inspiring. I want it to be a nice kind of tranquil space to come and work, and especially doing my PetiteElliee styling. I think this is going to be such a lovely room to sit at my laptop, to do all of your styling services, to be creating your lookbooks and creating your kind of like services. I am so excited for this to be like my room, that I come in and do that, because I just want to feel super inspired in this space. So we're going to cue another time lapse because we need to do some more organising. Okay, I've officially got the itch. You know that itch that once you feel it, it just has to be scratched. It's like one of those things where once you start the project, you just have to finish it. I'm really that kind of person. Like, I don't like doing things in bits sometimes. I just want to get all stuck in, like, and especially on a day like today when it's just a cozy day at home. I've started the wardrobe organisation and I've started the clear out, and now I want to get this room to a place where there are no bags in it, and I am down to only 2 bags, which is amazing. Although actually saying that, it's currently 3 o'clock and I've not actually had any lunch, and I know if I keep going I'm probably gonna get really hungry, so I might quickly run downstairs and make myself a sandwich, have a super quick little lunch, and then I can come back upstairs and carry on. But just to show you how we are doing, we only have 2 bags left in this little cubby, which I've just opened them to see what's actually inside of them. That's the only problem with these storage bags. I have no clue what's inside. So we have some of Alex's bits in here. We've got some shoes, I think, of his in this one as well, which, to tell you the honest truth, I completely forgot he even owned these shoes. And then all we've got back there is his golf clubs, which I'm fine with them staying here because otherwise I wouldn't really know where else to put them. But I feel like I'm ready to kind of start sifting through, bringing out his summer wardrobe as well, because we really need to get his like summer wardrobe organized. I think I've said it before, but this wardrobe, let me show you actually, it's like half empty, which is kind of hilarious because he's literally just been living out of like 1 bag. So this is all the clothes that he has at the moment. So we need to fill this wardrobe. Do you know what's really funny? I have never noticed that before. Is that the colour this room used to be? Can you see that? The like yellow. I actually think that might be, I think that might be the colour of this room. That's kind of hilarious. Not the vibe that we are going for. We much prefer the lovely white and the sage green in the Nancy Myers inspired office. But anyway, we need to get this wardrobe filled because he needs to start sifting through his summer wardrobe. He's got such a gorgeous summer wardrobe, and I want to obviously make the most of the lovely weather, especially fingers crossed we have a beautiful weather this weekend to enjoy. And as I said, I just want to get this stuff like out and ready and organised so that when the weather is there, there's no kind of like messing about, you know what I mean? Like, you're not suddenly sifting through and trying to find things and like steam and iron them. Like, you've got them prepped, you've got them ready. So whilst I'm in the mood, whilst I have this kind of like energy and the itch needs to be scratched, we're gonna get going with his wardrobe as well. Right, we are loading up the steamer, ready to go. And I forgot to say earlier, but this is another one of those items, another one of those tools that I feel like the Brita filter just saves, because if you use lime scaly water on these, you will literally end up, a friend of mine showed me hers, and the entirety of this plate was just like covered in this kind of like white powder, and it ended up getting on her clothes. It ended up like ruining pieces, and like the way that you steamed it in meant the white literally got stuck into her clothes. So we're gonna get that ready to go. Once it finishes flashing, it means that it is ready. We can get out Alex's lovely summery pieces and just make sure he's ready for the warmer weather. my goodness me. I feel like I'm coming on here and looking more and more disheveled every time I pick up this camera, but oh my goodness me, has it been a productive day. Sometimes I love it when we have a day like today, when the weather isn't the best. As I say, the weather is not weathering, we've not got sunshine, I don't have any like FOMO to get out in the garden, I don't want to like go outside, I just want to kind of have a cozy day of organising at home. And has it been a day of organising? I don't even know what time it is. I think it's like 6-7 o'clock now, and I've been at it literally for the entirety of the day. And in case you're wondering, I wouldn't normally be doing 2 wardrobe organisations. Like normally it would just be my own in my dressing room, but I've been doing Alex's bits. Number 1, because my love language is acts of service, and so I love doing like little bits for him here and there. And number 2, I think because obviously his stuff is in my office and like in my room, I kind of just wanted to like get it to a point where I'm happy with this space and I can start making this space my own. I'd really love to look for like a beautiful antique writing desk to pop up here and like some beautiful furniture. I know I've already shown you the mood board for this room and I can't wait to like really get it to that point. I must admit, I love these wardrobes. They are so handy to have. I think when we end up getting fitted wardrobes done in our bedroom, this might end up being my overflow wardrobe space for like coats, maybe like out of season things, dresses, like ball gowns I don't really get as much like wear out of, but I love to have just in case, because when you get invited to a fancy event, there's nothing worse than having nothing to wear. But the wardrobe is looking so much better now. I do absolutely love them. I don't know if I've shown you it in detail, but they have these really beautiful little knobs on them. And we now have kind of like a summer side and a winter side. Now that I've spotted this like yellow wallpaper, I can't unsee it. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I find it hilarious that the previous owners didn't bother painting that white in there. But yeah, we've got like the winter stuff over here. We've got the summer stuff over here, which has all been steamed really nicely. I will say the steam obviously isn't like the best in the world. This one's still looking a little bit creased. Could probably do with like a proper iron, but it's just so good, as I said, to clean it, to freshen things up and just kind of give them a new lease of life and basically make sure that they're not smelling of stale storage boxes basically. So that is looking amazing. And wait, just you wait until you see how empty this room is. The cubby is empty. The cubby is cubbing and I could not be happier. So all I've done is place the little air purifier, which I really don't know if I want to keep this. I don't really know if we have that much use for it, but it's really handy to have when we do need it. You know, if like you're ever doing any painting or anything like that, it's so handy to have. So I've just popped that in the corner, and actually, to be fair, it's like the exact same color as the cupboards. Like the sage green kind of works, but the cubby is officially empty and I could not be happier. I'm really debating what to do with this space because it is a huge space, but obviously because it is in the eaves, you do have that kind of slope, but we could do drawers in here. I could do like a big open shelving unit in here for storage. I'm not entirely sure. Do I do cupboards? Like, do I do doors on this? Or do I fill it with something? Let me know what you would do with this space here, because we do have a lot of cupboard space here. Obviously, this is closed cupboard space, this is closed cupboard space, so maybe it'd be quite nice to have it open with maybe some drawers or something in there. It's just directly underneath the window. So I think anything would be okay kind of being stored in there regarding like whether it would fit. Also, this is clearly the old carpet that we hadn't ripped up. Obviously, we replaced the carpets when we moved in, and this is what we used to have before, which is fine, but not really my vibe. It's very dark, which I feel like it's coming up a little bit lighter on camera. It's very dark and very, kind of reminds me of like school carpet, you know, like the kind of carpet you used to have at school. That's what it reminds me of. But yeah, so I've just got my little cloud poof sitting in front of it at the moment, which is pretty much the only soft furnishing in here other than the gorgeous little faux flowers from Unique Florist Decor, which she's been messaging me saying so many of you guys have been going over to her site, which makes me so happy. So don't forget any of her pieces. Feel free to send her a DM if you don't see what you'd like there. Like if there's anything that you've maybe seen on her Instagram or anything that I've unboxed that you don't actually see on her Etsy store, feel free to pop her DM and use the discount code ELLIE20 for 20% off. But yeah, this room is finally coming together. My little Nancy Meyers inspired office. Oh, I am so shattered after a day of organising and wardrobe sorting and clearing out. I'm looking so disheveled now. This is the kind of disheveled that I don't mind looking, because the satisfaction from the organisation has just been completely worth it. I do apologise for quite how dishevelled I have looked throughout this video, though. I'm not going to lie to you. It always happens on the days where I just don't really want to make a huge effort. I'm like, you know what, it'll be fine. We're not really going to wear any makeup. We're not going to style our hair. We're just going to do very minimal vibes. And then I watch back the footage and I'm like, Ellie, could you not have just made a little bit more of an effort? But especially on a day like today, when I've just been doing so much organisation with regards to clearing out the wardrobes, with regards to the steaming, with regards to the kind of like wardrobe switch over, I'm kind of glad that I didn't make a huge amount of effort, because this is just the reality. This is reality of everyday May. This is reality of life. And this is what you get to see throughout the daily vlogs, which I think we only have a week left of daily vlogs. I'm gonna miss them so much when they go. I'm just gonna keep wanting to like pick up the camera and say hi to you guys. Maybe I'll do more stories over on Instagram throughout June. Make sure you follow me over on there. But before we finish this video, before I signed off for the evening, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I am starving. I need to get some dinner on because it is so late now. Normally we eat at like 6:30, 7. It is way later than that, let me tell you. But I received a lovely new delivery from Space NK. I'm gonna sneeze, oh my goodness. Oh, my hay fever is really giving me a run for my money this year. I swear this year has been worse than any other year. Do you know what I think I need to do? I need to go and eat some more honey. I should probably swap out my morning jam in my Greek yogurt with honey at the moment, because I read somewhere that a way to kind of like beat your hay fever and a way to overcome it in a natural way is to actually eat local honey. So for me it would be Hampshire honey or like New Forest honey, because bees have made that honey with the pollen that's like been around your area, and that's often what can happen with hay fever. Like you might not get hay fever from if you go up to Scotland to like the south of England or something, because there's completely different pollen, there's completely different plants, and like it can affect you in completely different ways. So I need to go and eat some honey. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna swap out my jam for honey. But before I actually signed off this video and before I head downstairs and make some dinner, because it is way later than when we normally eat. Normally I like to eat between like 6:30, 7, so I can give my food time to digest. I can have like a lovely cozy evening. All I'm going to say is it's a lot later than that, and I've not actually eaten yet. But I received a rather exciting delivery from Space NK of some new hair products that they have on their website. And I'm not going to lie, I sometimes forget that they do hair care products as well. I always think of them as like skincare and beauty. But one thing I love about Space NK is not only the discounts that they offer, because the amount of times they have amazing discounts, which like even the brand wouldn't have on their website, but they just have so many different brands and so many different retailers. And you know what I'm like, especially when it comes to skincare, I am not a one brand fits all kind of a gal. I love being able to like mix different brands into my routine, try out different products from different retailers, and I love the fact that you can like shop it all in one place on Space NK. So I thought we could unbox this together. Oh my gosh, I can hear my tummy rumbling. Can you hear that on camera? I can literally hear it rumbling. But let's unbox this and see what new hair care products we have to play around with. Now this is something that I'm pretty sure I've seen all over my Instagram at the moment. A new collaboration with a big hairstylist, like hair professional and Colour Wow. It is the Chris Appleton and Colour Wow Money collection. Now I think they do this collection in a few different products, but they've been very kind to send me over the mask. Now it says here it's for super glossy, expensive looking hair, and I must admit, my hair does not look glossy. It does not look expensive today, but especially if you are preferring like sleeker hair, you're not really doing like curls as much, you're doing like a bob like I am, I feel like it is so important to have that shine in your hair. And having brunette hair, especially that has like a lot of layers, it's got a lot of different like colouring, I find it so difficult to get brunette hair to look glossy. So I'm really excited to give this a go. I wonder if it smells. Oh, that smells incredible. That literally just smells like perfume in your hair. Like that is like rich hair to me. That sounds absolutely amazing. So it says here, is your rags to riches texture solution. So it says here that Money Mask is your rags to riches texture solution. This deep hydrating treatment, rich in Mediterranean plant-based proteins, antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, helps deliver super glossy, supple, expensive looking hair. Contains proprietary Procapil complex, which helps to anchor roots and lessen hair loss. It is also vegan, which sounds amazing. We then have a couple of products from another brand that I have heard so much about and I've always wanted to try. Sam McKnight. I've heard so much about Sam McKnight and I think her products are going to be absolutely amazing. So many girls rave about them. So this is the Cool Girl Nourish volumizing shampoo and conditioner. They're such perfect sizes as well. Like that's a really, really perfect little like travel size to take away with you. I absolutely love that. I kind of want to like give it a little smell just to see, because shampoo is really important that it smells nice to me. Oh yeah, that's really nice. It's actually really fresh. Like I'm almost getting like leafy herbal vibes. Oh, that's really, really nice. That might just be my new kind of like gym shampoo and conditioner, because I always love to have a little mini one in my gym bag so that I can always shower and wash and get myself ready at the club. But a couple of lovely products. And lastly, I feel like Space NK know me so well. It's all about the volume, the shine, the gloss, the Olaplex. bonding oil. This is probably going to surprise a lot of people. I've actually never tried Olaplex before, and I know so many people love the brand. Like, it literally has a cult following now, but I've never actually tried anything from them. Actually, no, that's a lot. I think I've borrowed a friend of mine's shampoo, potentially, but I've never tried their kind of like treatment products, but I've had amazing things. This is the bonding oil. Boosts shine, strengthens and repairs all hair types. It says here, it reduces frizz and flyaways, extends colour and renews vibrancy, heat protection up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, shortens drying time, softens and detangles, no residue, colour safe, vegan, alcohol free. So I think this is the kind of thing that you just apply on damp or dry hair and style as desired. So yeah, you apply this after your shower, and I do love using a hair oil. I do feel like it makes such a difference, particularly to the ends of my hair, just really giving it that kind of like hit of hydration, that like nourishment. Basically what I like to do is use on my scalp like calming oils and like really great like scalp irritant kind of oils on my scalp, and then I use like nourishing and like thickening and treatment oils on the end of my hair. I've been loving the LV one recently, but this might just be one to try and see if it knocks LV out of the park. I love how teeny tiny, again, the little packaging is. It's a great travel size to take with you. So really, really excited to try that. So some lovely goodies from Space & Kate. As I said, can literally hear my stomach rumbling. So I'm gonna go downstairs and make myself some dinner. I feel like I've earned a really good dinner after today, because wowie, has it been a mega wardrobe organize and declutter. Never before have I done a double wardrobe organize, especially in one vlog. So I'm really, really happy, and I'm so excited to see what we're going to do with that room now that it's getting like emptier and emptier, and it's just becoming more and more of like a blank canvas that we can work on. So I'm gonna finish this vlog here. If you got to the end, leave me the word hair oil down below in your comments. I would love to know who gets to the end of the videos, and I know so many of you guys have been doing such an amazing job throughout Everyday May. Like we have had some chats throughout Everyday May, and you're always still sitting there at the end and commenting the word down below, and it just makes me so happy. So comment hair oil down below in your comment if you got to the end, and I will see you tomorrow for another day of Everyday May. Bye.